According to the religionofpeace.com, the number of deadly attacks committed in the name of Allah since 9/11 alone now totals 31,682. Now, forgive me for reciting an inaccurate number, folks, for that figure was assessed a couple of days ago, and you can bet the madrasa that the death toll has indeed risen in the past 48 hours or so. In any event, it would seem to be a no-brainer that radical Islam is indeed the #1 security threat to the world when it comes to terrorism. New York, Mumbai, Jerusalem, London, Madrid. The deadly beat to the tune of Allahu Akbar just goes on and on. So I found it most curious that in a recent Toronto Star column, legal analyst and Islam apologist Aziza Kanji states that white supremacy is far more dire threat than radical Islam. In a column entitled "Quit Comparing Neo-Nazis to Daesh," Kanji nonsensically argues that neo-Nazis and other alt-right groups are more dangerous than ISIS because white supremacist groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, have been around for more than 150 years, thanks to the Democratic Party, by the way, whereas ISIS has only been around for a handful of years. But what Kanji conveniently ignores is that ISIS, or Daesh if you prefer, or is it douche, is only one brand of radical Islam in a world infested with so many other brands such as the Taliban and the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, etc., etc. So why doesn't Kanji mention these groups as well? Imagine if someone was an apologist for, say, the soft drink industry by stating that Dr. Pepper plays a very small role when it comes to causing obesity, yet that person chooses to turn a blind eye to Coke and Pepsi. How ridiculous would that be? True, ISIS only became a true threat upon the U.S. withdrawal from Iraq in 2011, but in terms of the chronology, Islam itself dates back to the 7th century. And one could argue persuasively that given the Prophet Muhammad's blood-drenched history, Islamic terrorism also dates back 14 centuries. That certainly trumps the 150-year history of the odious KKK. Indeed, I would argue that if one were to publish the Quran today, that person would be open to hate speech charges in numerous jurisdictions. By the way, just check out Tommy Robinson's superb recent commentary, Muhammad's Day in Court, if you want a full rundown. In any event, how sad that Kanji does not condemn the atrocities committed by so many other soldiers of Allah, choosing to concentrate on a handful of hateful honkies to make the case that, well, gee, radical Islam ain't all that bad after all now, is it? While it's true that it's only a minority of Muslims who are militant or terrorists, consider that the world Muslim population is roughly 1.6 billion, and the majority do indeed carry illiberal views at best. When you have time, Google Pew Research Center's 2013 World Muslim Survey for some very sobering statistics. But to give you just one example, even in moderate Morocco, mind you, one of the Muslim countries that has always been considered more progressive, 83% of all polled support violent, intolerant Sharia law. You have to wonder what's worse, folks, those Islamists committing acts of terror or those living in Western democracies who actually hate Western civilization as they serve as apologists for the very thugs who want to destroy it. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw? Then click subscribe below and never miss another Rebel video.